I still remember the exact moment my brother laughed at me. Like my life was some kind of joke. It was Thanksgiving and the house smelled like butter, garlic, and roasted turkey. But underneath all that was something else. Something that made my chest tighten the second I stepped into the kitchen. Seafood. I froze in the doorway. Please tell me that's not shrimp, I said, already feeling my throat go dry. My brother, Daniel, didn't even look up from the stove. He just smirked. Relax, Emily. You're not gonna die from just smelling it. I wish that were true. I'm 32 years old and I've had severe seafood allergy my entire life. Not that, oh, I get a rash kind. I mean the hospital in 5 minutes kind. The kind where one mistake can end everything. And Daniel knew that. He's known that since we were kids. But that's the thing about my brother, he's always thought I was being dramatic. Daniel, I said, trying to stay calm. You promised there wouldn't be any seafood this year. Oh, come on, he laughed, finally turning to face me, holding a pan full of shrimp like it was a trophy. It's Thanksgiving. I wanted to try something different. Don't make this about you. My stomach dropped. Don't make this about me. Different? I repeated. You brought the one thing that could literally kill me into the house. And I'm the problem? Our mom rushed in before he could answer. Okay, let's not start fighting already, she said nervously. Emily, honey, just stay away from the kitchen. We'll keep it separate. Separate. Like that ever works? I wanted to leave. I should have left. But it was Thanksgiving. And a part of me still hoped stupidly that maybe this year would be different. That maybe, for once, my family would actually take me seriously. So I stayed. Dinner started like every other year, forced smiles, awkward small talk, and Daniel cracking jokes like he always does. But then, things started to peel off. I hadn't even touched the food yet. I was just sitting there talking to my aunt. When suddenly my lips started tingling. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Then, my throat tightened. My heart started racing. No. I hadn't eaten anything. So how was this happening? I looked up and that's when I saw Daniel staring at me. Not laughing this time, just watching. And then everything went wrong at once. Someone screamed. When I opened my eyes, everything was quiet. Too quiet. The bright white ceiling above me blinked into focus, and for a second I didn't know where I was. My throat felt raw, like I had swallowed glass, and every breath came with a dull ache in my chest. Emily? Oh my God. You're awake. I turned my head slowly and saw my mom sitting beside me, her eyes red and swollen, her hand gripping mine like she was afraid I'd disappear again. The hospital? I whispered. She nodded, tears instantly spilling over. You went into full anaphylactic shock. If the ambulance had been even a few minutes late. Her voice broke. I closed my eyes for a second, letting that sink in. A few minutes. That's all it would have taken for me to die, over a joke. Where is he? I asked, my voice cold despite how weak I felt. My mom hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. He's outside, she said quietly. He's been here the whole time. He won't leave. Course he wouldn't. Guilt has a way of chaining people to the consequences they can't undo. A few minutes later, the door creaked open. I didn't even have to look to know it was him. Emily? Daniel's voice was barely recognizable, shaky, hollow, stripped of all that arrogance he wore like armor. I turned my head anyway. He looked destroyed. Eyes bloodshot, face pale, hands trembling. Good. You almost killed me, I said flatly. He flinched like I'd slapped him. I know, he whispered. I know, and I'm so sorry. I didn't think. Stop saying that, I cut him off, my voice rising despite the pain. You never think. That's the problem. Silence filled the room, thick and suffocating. I was just trying to mess with you, he said, desperation creeping into his tone. I didn't think it would go this far. But it did, I snapped. It did go this far. I was on the floor, Daniel. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was dying. Tears rolled down his face now, but I felt nothing. No sympathy. No forgiveness. Just clarity. You don't get to say sorry and walk away from this, I said quietly. This isn't one of your harmless little jokes anymore. He looked at me confused, afraid, and for the first time in my life, he realized I wasn't going to let this go. Not this time. Not ever. 3 weeks later, everything finally came to an end. But not the way Daniel expected. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. I didn't even argue anymore. I just acted. After I got discharged from the hospital, I did something I had never done before in my life. I filed a report. Yes, against my own brother. At first, my family thought I was going too far. Emily, he didn't mean it, my mom kept saying. It was an accident, my aunt added. But here's the truth no one wanted to admit. It wasn't an accident. It was negligence. It was reckless. And it almost killed me. And for once, I refused to stay quiet. The investigation was quick. Medical records, witness statements, everything lined up. What Daniel did wasn't just a joke anymore. It was legally dangerous. He lost his job within days. Word spread fast. No company wanted someone who could be that careless with another person's life. And for the first time ever, Daniel had to face consequences he couldn't laugh off. He came to see me one last time. I ruined everything, he said, his voice empty. I looked at him calmly and replied, No, you finally understood everything. There is no anger left in me anymore. Just peace. Because I survived. Because I stood up for myself. And because for the first time in my life, my pain wasn't ignored, it was acknowledged. Thanksgiving never looked the same after that. We don't celebrate it together anymore. And honestly, that's the ending. Not a perfect family, not a happy table, but a boundary, per lesson, and a life that I chose to protect.